Bonjour, bonjour et bienvenue. Comment allez-vous? Okay, welcome to the second day of the verb challenge, the French verb challenge. So, how was your first day? How was the experience? I hope you had a nice time. I hope you're able to learn something about the infinitive of verbs and subject pronouns. Yeah, because they're key when it comes to verbs. Okay, so today we're kicking off day two. So, we're going to be we're going to be exploring a very popular, famous verb, but yet people still have issues with it. So we're going to explore that verb and its basic uses. So what's the verb? It's the verb être. Wait, the verb être, the verb to be. So we'll look at this verb, we'll explore this verb, we'll look at its conjugation pattern and also its basic uses, and also see how we can make sentences. So I'm going to show you how to make sentences with the verb être. It's quite easy. All right, let's go. So the verb être is an irregular verb. It's also considered an auxiliary verb because it's used to do a lot of things which we are going to see in the course of this challenge, okay? And it's irregular, meaning that its conjugation pattern is unique. It's just unique to the verb. So you will have to try, practice, memorize. So people will say cram. Maybe memorize, maybe practice. So if you keep practicing, maybe daily, more often, you will get to know it like I know it today. All right, let's go. So how do we conjugate the verb être? So it's easy. So I put also the English translation. All right, so je suis, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, vous êtes, ils sont, ils sont, ils sont, ils sont, elles sont, elles sont, elles sont, elles sont, elles sont. We looked at pronouns in the day one, so I would just imagine that you're very familiar with all of this. Okay, let's read again. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. So that's it. You can repeat it as many times as possible so you could get more familiar with it. Okay, so please try to repeat it as more times as you can. All right, let's look at its basic uses. So we know the verb is être. Of course, you know from the last lesson, you know that we cannot make any sentence with this verb. We cannot, because the infinitive of a verb is not assigned to any subject, so we can't use it. So we'll have to conjugate it in order to be able to make sentences. So here is the conjugation in what? In the present tense. So normally verbs are in infinitive and they are moved to they are conjugated and moved to other tenses and modes, okay? Let's go. So uses of être, basic uses of être, identification and description, excuse me, please, for identification and description. So this verb is used to identify people, places, things, describe their characteristics. So that means you can use adjectives with this verb. So when it talks about description, you can make description with this verb. And you can also talk about what people are, like their profession. Yeah, you can talk about what they are. Okay? So let's try. There are some examples here. Let's look at it. So you can think of your own self. You can also say, okay, if maybe you are a doctor, you can say, je suis médecin. Je suis médecin. If you're a pharmacist, you can say je suis pharmacien. That's for je suis pharmacien. Je suis professeur. That's for me. You say je suis professeur. So what are you? What's your profession? You can use it. So that's it. So je suis étudiant. Elle est médecin. Nous sommes amis. What are we? Yes, to describe what people are. Nous sommes amis. Yeah, il est beau et amusant. Il est beau et amusant et amusant. Elle est jolie et drôle. Elle est jolie et drôle. So you can make descriptions using this verb. The verb être is known for making descriptions. So yeah, you can try that. You can make as many sentences as you want. You can go back to the conjugations and write it out, read it, and start making your sentences. Also, we can use this verb to identify location where a thing is situated, a person or an object. So you want to find, you're trying to find out where a person is, and you ask the person, you say, je suis à, I am at, je suis à la maison, je suis au marché, je suis à la bibliothèque, elle est au bureau. So you use the verb être to say where a person is or an object. Okay, so you see, so we've been able to identify that we can use this verb to make descriptions, describing a person, talking about what a person is based on their professions, okay, their friends, what are they, even you say, okay, we are twins, you can use this verb to do that. And also identifying location where a person is. Je suis à Londres, je suis à Paris, je suis en France. That's the verb you use. Also, to talk about nationalities too, the nationality, you also use this verb. Je suis française, je suis nigérienne, je suis américain, je suis américain, ils sont italiens, tu es japonaise, tu es japonais. Okay, that's not a question. So you can also ask a question with it. Tu es japonaise, you can ask a question, tu es japonaise, so your intonation goes up. When it goes up, it's a question. When it's flat, it's a statement. Tu es japonaise? That's a question. Tu es japonais? That's a statement. Okay, so these are basic uses of the verb être. That's not all. Let's take a step further. Okay, state of being. It can be used to express a person's state of being at a certain time. I could say, oh, je suis fatiguée, je suis contente. So that's my state of being at that particular time. Nous sommes en forme. We're in good shape. So you can use it to talk about one's state of being and also temporary conditions. Example, je suis malade, il est malade. These are temporary conditions. Je suis triste. Tu es triste. Tu es triste. Ils sont occupés. These are temporary conditions, and you use the verb être to express this. So we have found out we can use the verb être to describe, talk about a person or a thing, making description and talking about what they are. Also knowing a person's location or where a thing is located. And also talking about one's nationality. And now we've seen state of being, we've seen temporary conditions, and also we can use the same verb to talk about time. Yeah. We used to talk about time, anything time. So, il est 8 heures. Il est 8 heures, that's time. Time. Yeah, il est 8 heures, it's 8 o'clock. C'est lundi. C'est mardi. Jeudi, c'est mardi. C'est mardi. That's it. And nous sommes le 9 juillet 2024. You also use the same verb, the verb être. You see, the verb does a lot of things. It's a very broad verb. It does a lot of things, and which you have to know. So that's it. We've seen a few. These are the basic uses of the verb être. All right, let's look at something else. There are a lot of expressions that we can use the verb être to make. So a lot. So this one says être en retard, to be late. So we can say il est en retard. Il est. Whenever you find expressions like this, please do not go adding, for example, you say, oh, you now say il être. Il être. You just copy il être. Il être en retard. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Whenever you find an expression that has a verb, what you need to do is you need to conjugate the verb. You conjugate the verb. Okay, so that's it. So when you find an expression that has a verb, what you need to do, you need to conjugate that verb to be able to use that expression. Do not pick the expression and just add it to a subject pronoun and start. No, you will not get it. You won't get it. So for this case, all we need to do is simple. We just do, okay, il est. Remember, we conjugated that verb, so I want to say he is late. So I'll say il est en. So I've done that. Il est en retard. That's it. Il est en retard. Okay, so we've gotten that. So the next expression says that, être d'accord, to agree. So I can say, je suis d'accord avec lui. Je suis d'accord avec lui. I agree with him. Je suis d'accord avec elle. I agree with her. Être en train de, to be in the process of something, I can say, je suis en train de faire un coup sur YouTube. Je suis en train de faire un coup sur YouTube. In the process, I'm actually in the action of doing that thing. The action is ongoing. Je suis en train de. Je suis en train de. Maybe if I'm eating and someone needs my attention, I could say, oh, excuse-moi, je suis en train de manger. So I can't leave my food because je suis en train de manger. I'm eating. Oui. So that's it. So you use je suis en train de manger, je suis en train de, when you're referring to an action that is in process, it's ongoing. So you can use that expression. So it's considered as the present progressive. That's in English, yes. So that's it. Être de retour, to be back. Elle est de retour. Elle est de retour de son voyage. Elle est de retour de son voyage. She's back from her trip. That's it. So just conjugate the verb and you are able to use the expression. Être sur le point, to be about to do something. Maybe I could say, maybe I'm about to eat. That's it. Je suis sur le point de manger. Je suis sur le point de manger. Je suis sur le point de sortir. I'm about going out. Je suis sur le point de sortir. About going to bed. Je suis sur le point de me coucher. Je suis sur le point de me coucher. That's it. So you see, it's quite easy making sentences with the verbs. And one more thing I needed to point out, when you're talking about your profession using the verb être, in English we say, I am a doctor. Please, the French do not say, I am a doctor. Do not bring in the A. Rather, you say, je suis médecin. I am doctor. That's how they say it. Don't bring it. Please avoid as much as you can from doing word for word translation. Try to know how it's said in the language and you just do it. That's the best thing to do. Okay? So don't forget that. And let's take, for example, I'm going to show you at times some people struggle to make sentences. They conjugate the verbs, they know it. Then you ask them to make sentences, to write something, it becomes very difficult for them. Let me do this. So let me show you how you could actually overcome that problem. Let's go here. All right, so I'm going to conjugate the verb être. Let's say, okay, so the verb être is je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. Okay, so that's it. I've been able to conjugate the verb. So now I want to make sentences with them. So I can start with this. So I can actually make how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with 8 sentences. All right, let's go. I can start by saying je suis célibataire. I've just made a sentence. Je suis célibataire. And à causer, tu es espagnol? Tu es espagnol? Interrogative sentence. Tu es espagnol? Espagnol? Tu es espagnol? Okay, and next. Il est française. Non, il est français, excuse-moi, please. Il est français. Il est français. Elle est contente. Elle est contente. Nous sommes fatigués. Nous sommes fatigués. I need to pick an accent. Okay. Nous sommes fatigués. Okay. Vous êtes en forme? Vous êtes en forme? Ouais. Ouais. Ils sont malades. They are sick. Ils sont malades. Elles sont sur le point de sortir. That's it. So I've been able to make 8 sentences using the verb être. And yes, I've tried. Okay, I could have used, I used just one expression. I could use one, another. I could make another sentence here. Je suis en train de chanter en chinois. Chinois. Oui, je laisse. Je suis en train de chanter. Je suis en train de chanter. I'm singing. Just a sentence anyway. So that's it. So you can actually make declarative sentences and also interrogative sentences using this. It's quite easy. So that's it. So just go use the plan, use what I've shown to you today to be able to make a sentence. I think that's it. Okay, bon. So I think we've come. Okay, that's it. With the verb être, we've been able to see the conjugation pattern and also the basic uses of the verb. So try using expressions. I love expressions a lot. Try to use expressions as much as you can. Very good. It's a very good thing to do. And here, this is for you. This is your practice. So you can either leave it under this the comment section of the video. I'm going to be there to correct your work, or we will meet in the WhatsApp group later in the day so we can look at it together. So either you leave it in the comment section, I will correct it there for you, or we meet in the WhatsApp group. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to conjugate the verb être. You're going to conjugate it, you write it, and you're going to read it aloud, okay? Read it aloud, and hear yourself read it. And secondly, you're going to make sentences. Try making about 20 sentences with the verb être from every aspect: description, knowing one's location and one's nationality, using expressions, the expressions with the verb être, and also state of being, temporary conditions, and also time. Okay, so with that, you're going to be able to make maybe over 20 sentences. All right, so I look forward to seeing your sentences very soon. I hope you had a nice time. You've been able to learn something today from this verb challenge. Okay, hope to see you in the next video. And I wish you a lovely day. And au revoir. Au revoir. Passez alors une très bonne journée. Au revoir.